A billionaire CEO observes a waitress diligently studying during her break and decides to intervene, ultimately changing the course of her future. Hey, what's your location for watching? I'm eager to find out. If you found the video enjoyable, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more content. Your encouragement is invaluable to me. It truly motivates me. I eagerly anticipate your insights in the comments section. Imagine being trapped in a job that leads nowhere, toiling away for endless hours just to make ends meet, all while harboring a hidden aspiration that feels far too grand for someone in your position. Imagine a night where a serendipitous meeting with a billionaire CEO alters the course of your life forever. Imagine if the life you've been tirelessly working towards, enduring countless sleepless nights and making endless sacrifices, could shift dramatically with a single choice. Will you grasp that chance, or will apprehension and uncertainty confine you to the familiar existence you've always led? Samantha Brooks, at 25, carried the burdens of her existence which aged her beyond her years. Rosie's Diner was her arena, a quaint, greasy establishment on the fringes of Ashwood, a town lost in the annals of time. Her dark hair was always pulled back, with strands escaping during the long hours of work. Her hazel eyes, though dimmed by fatigue, retained a fierce glimmer, an unwavering determination to keep her dreams alive. She glided through the space with the precision of one who had committed every creak of the floorboards to memory, deftly balancing trays of burgers and replenishing coffee mugs, all while maintaining a strained smile. Yet her heart wandered. Concealed within the pages of the business administration textbook she stashed away beneath the counter, Samantha transcended the role of a mere waitress. She was the very foundation upon which her family relied. Ellen, her mother, fought against a persistent illness, with medical expenses weighing heavily on them. Tommy, her younger brother, was 16 and brimming with restless energy. He aspired to attend college, yet faced challenges in his studies. Their small apartment served as a constant reminder of all that Samantha was striving for: a brighter future, an escape from the confines of her current reality. She took night classes at Ashwood Community College, fitting study sessions into her breaks, her notebook brimming with highlighted terms and handwritten notes on corporate strategy. Rest was a privilege she simply couldn't grasp. This evening, the diner was eerily quiet, with only a handful of truckers slowly sipping their coffees. Samantha perched at the counter, her textbook spread before her, a pencil casually tucked behind her ear. The chime above the entrance tinkled, prompting her to look up. David Carver entered, shaking off the rain from his meticulously crafted coat. At 42, he held the title of CEO at Carver Tech, a global tech empire, yet in this moment he was simply Dave, the man who ordered black coffee and tipped generously. His salt and pepper hair and sharp blue eyes exuded a quiet intensity, yet he melded seamlessly into the diner's worn decor, searching for refuge from the corporate realm. "Evening, Dave," Samantha said, gracefully sliding a mug toward him. "Evening, Sam," he replied, his voice a soft murmur, nearly swallowed by the gentle hum of the jukebox. He observed her textbook, the highlighters strewn about like remnants of a fierce struggle. Once more, she found herself burning the midnight oil, a weary smile emerging as she nodded. With exams approaching next month, it's essential to stay on track. David took a slow sip of his coffee, his gaze lingering on her as she turned back to her notes. For years, he found himself at Rosie's, captivated by its unpretentious charm, a refreshing departure from his intense existence. Yet it was Samantha who truly lured him back time and again. Her determination, her subtle resilience, it brought to mind his own youth, struggling yet aspiring for greatness. He transformed Carver Tech from a humble garage startup, driven by the unwavering faith of a single mentor. Now he recognized that same yearning within her. In the weeks that followed, David established himself as a constant presence during Samantha's shifts. Their exchange began with light topics: weather, coffee, the diner's peculiarities, but soon delved into more profound territory. One evening, while she topped off his mug, he inquired, "What's the end game, Sam? What about the degree? What purpose does it serve?" She paused, cleaning the counter to distract herself, his stare. "I aspire to be involved in the business world, with hopes of leading a team in the future. I excel at mending issues and bringing order to disorder. I aspire to create something significant, to provide my family with a genuine opportunity." David leaned in, resting his elbows on the counter. "And the diner?" "Survival," she stated, her tone unwavering yet tinged with acceptance. "It's the driving force behind everything we do." He refrained from pressing, yet her words resonated in the air. As time passed, his understanding deepened. Her mother's increasing medical expenses, Tommy's challenges with math, the evening classes that drained her energy. Samantha remained silent about her grievances. She articulated truths, her strength radiating brightly. David recognized something special in her, an untamed ability waiting for a catalyst to set it ablaze. On a tempestuous night, while Samantha tidied up his table, David arrived at a resolution. "Samantha," he said, his voice carrying a weight that caused her to hesitate, "I'm here to assist you." She stood still, a wet cloth clutched in her hand. "How? Can I assist you?" "I manage Carvatech," he stated, observing her eyes grow wide. "I have observed your efforts and dedication in your craft. You possess the necessary qualities. I'm extending an opportunity for you to complete your degree with a scholarship, completely free of obligations, along with a paid internship at my company, should you choose to accept it." Samantha felt her heart pounding in her chest. She had come across Carvatech with its modern headquarters and revolutionary technology. But what is it about her? "I don't understand," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "What makes me the right choice?" David's demeanor became gentler. "Because I was in your shoes once, a young dreamer with no clear path ahead. A chance was bestowed upon me. Now it's my moment to give back." She gazed at him, probing for a hidden agenda, yet his eyes revealed nothing but honesty. "I need to think about it," she said finally, her thoughts swirling around her like a tempest. "Take your time," he said, smoothly pushing a business card over the counter. "However, it's important not to delay for too long. Such chances are rare and fleeting." Samantha tossed and turned through the night, contemplating David's proposal. Uncertainty consumed her thoughts. Was she capable of navigating the corporate landscape? Did she measure up? Yet the idea of being confined within the diner, watching her aspirations fade, felt far more unbearable. With a hesitant breath, she accepted, her hands quivering as she reached for the phone to dial his number. The scholarship alleviated her financial burden, freeing her from a long-standing concern. The internship at Carvatech's headquarters in the city provided sufficient income to manage her family's expenses, allowing her to leave her job at the diner. With tears glistening in her eyes, she embraced her colleague's farewell and ventured into an unfamiliar realm. Her initial experience at Carvatech was quite surprising. The gleaming structures of glass and steel, the impeccably dressed individuals, the buzz of aspiration. It felt like a distant realm from Rosie's. She found herself in the marketing department, reporting to Sarah Patel, a pragmatic manager renowned for her ability to identify talent. Sarah offered Samantha a friendly smile, yet cautioned her, "This place moves quickly. Stay on track." The internship was challenging. Samantha immersed herself in her responsibilities, scrutinizing data, crafting proposals, and mastering the intricacies of corporate strategy. Yet the shadow of self-doubt loomed, murmuring that she was an imposter, a server in someone else's shoes. Her colleagues, a number of whom hailed from prestigious Ivy League institutions, exuded a confidence that she found herself envious of. Rumors trailed behind her, concerning her unique bond with David and her absence of lineage. She caught a co-worker whisper, "She's merely the boss's case for charity." Samantha immersed herself in her tasks, her attention unwavering. David took on the role of her mentor, engaging in weekly discussions focused on strategy and leadership. "You're not here to blend in," he said to her one day, his tone resolute. "Your journey, your viewpoint, it's your advantage. Utilize it." His words ignited her passion, yet the weight of expectation bore down unyieldingly. At home, everything was unraveling. Tommy was misbehaving, missing classes, filled with bitterness over her absence. "You're constantly at that upscale office," he retorted one evening. Ellen, her mother, offered support, yet her fragility was evident. Her well-being remains a persistent concern. Samantha balanced night classes, work commitments, and family responsibilities. Her fatigue lingered like an unshakable shadow. As the months rolled by, Samantha's dedication bore fruit. She graduated with distinction, her degree a testament to her relentless effort. Carvatech extended an offer for a full-time position as a junior strategist, a role that seemed like a dream come true. She received a significant assignment, a campaign to unveil Carvatech's innovative AI-powered app, aimed at making financial tools available to the general public. It was a deeply personal endeavor, intertwined with her own challenges, yet the corporate landscape proved to be treacherous. Ethan Caldwell, a senior strategist, perceived her as a formidable opponent. In his tailored suits and with a cutting wit, he subtly eroded her confidence in meetings, brushing aside her suggestions with a condescending smile. "Fascinating perspective," he would remark, his voice laced with a hint of superiority. "Yet, let's focus on what's effective." Samantha resisted, her tone unwavering, her resilience forged from years in the diner evident in every word. She had encountered more challenging customers than Ethan. Her concepts, rooted in her comprehension of everyday individuals, piqued Sarah's interest. Samantha put forth a campaign that resonated with working-class families, highlighting the importance of affordability and trust. Sarah was thrilled, as it meant a more significant part in the project, yet the murmurs intensified. Some colleagues harbored resentment towards her ascent, while others cast doubt on her qualifications. Samantha sensed the burden of being an outsider, a woman from a working-class background in a realm of privilege. At home, the conflict with Tommy intensified. He found himself in trouble for skipping school, and his grades were in freefall. "You're always absent," he charged, his voice strained. "You're caught up in your role as a corporate hotshot." Samantha felt a deep ache within her, yet she was at a loss for how to mend it. Ellen, always her steadfast support, encouraged her to persevere. "You're doing this for us," she stated, her voice fragile yet resolute. "Keep going." The campaign project transformed into Samantha's testing ground. She dedicated herself fully, toiling through the late hours, perfecting each nuance. Her concepts were daring, relatable, and creative, garnering admiration from Sarah and even David. Yet Ethan's bitterness brewed beneath the surface. He started to sow seeds of uncertainty, quietly challenging her contributions in front of the group. "Is this approach truly professional enough?" he'd question, his tone sharper than intended. Samantha felt the familiar pangs of self-doubt, yet she stood her ground. In a moment of reflection, she began guiding a young intern, Maria, who echoed her own past self, starving for recognition, unnoticed, brimming with possibilities. Assisting Maria provided her with a profound sense of direction, a clear reminder of her reason for being. However, the tension was escalating, and a fresh obstacle appeared. A competing company, Apex Solutions, was set to unveil a comparable app, posing a risk of overshadowing Carvatech's achievements. David summoned everyone for a meeting, his demeanor serious. "Apex is making strides," he remarked. "We must accelerate our pace and intensify our efforts. Samantha, your campaign gives us the advantage we need. Ensure it matters." The stakes were exhilarating. Achieving success could solidify her position at Carvatech. Failure has the potential to dismantle it all, Samantha pressed on, yet uncertainty lingered in her mind. Was she prepared for this? Was she capable of delivering? The peak moment arrived just before the campaign was set to begin. Samantha had meticulously crafted her strategy, a daring, sincere initiative that resonated with genuine individuals, rather than merely targeting corporate interests or your finances. But calamity ensued. Apex launched a teaser campaign that strikingly resembled hers, right down to the tagline. The client, seething with anger over the leak, threatened to withdraw, blaming Carvatech for their incompetence. Samantha found herself caught off guard, her self-assurance faltering as murmurs circulated throughout the workplace. "She's caught in a whirlwind," she caught a whisper. "David's passion project is struggling. David summoned her into his office, his expression inscrutable. "Did you share the draft prematurely?" he inquired, his tone steady, yet cutting. "No," Samantha declared, her voice trembling yet resolute. "I would never put this at risk." He observed her intently, then gave a slight nod. "I trust you, but we must devise a strategy. At this moment." Samantha's thoughts surged with intensity. She suggested a shift, launching a fresh campaign that embraced openness, acknowledging the leak while portraying it as a reflection of the robustness of their vision. "Let's take control of the story," she said. "Let the world see our courage." David gave his nod, and the team hurriedly set to work. However, the true revelation emerged when Samantha discovered the reality. In the quiet of the night, as she sifted through project files, an email trail caught her eye. Ethan had released the draft to Apex, casting her as the one responsible. He had been collaborating with a connection at the competing company, aiming to undermine her and clinch a promotion. Samantha felt a surge of anger, yet she remained composed. She faced Ethan alone, her tone unwavering. "What is the reason?" she inquired, brandishing the incriminating emails. "What have I done to you?" Ethan's refined exterior shattered. "You don't belong here," he hissed. "You're an unknown who stumbled upon fortune. I've toiled for years, and you stroll in, snatching my moment in the limelight." Samantha perceived his trepidation, his uncertainty. She had the power to unveil his secrets, to shatter his professional life. Rather, she opted for a different path. "Leave without a fuss," she warned, "or I'll bring this to David." Ethan, trapped, consented, departing the following day in silence. The latest campaign was a risk, yet it yielded rewards. Out of service. The angle of transparency struck a chord, spreading rapidly and garnering acclaim for its genuine nature. The client remained, and the application was launched to track downloads. Samantha's name resonated widely, not merely as David's protégé, but as a strategist possessing remarkable vision. She ascended to the position of leading a new division dedicated to community outreach, a role that allowed her to connect Carvertech's tech with the community it served. In the comfort of her home, she nurtured her connection with Tommy anew. She dedicated her weekends to guiding him, assisting him with his college applications. Their shared joy was palpable as they celebrated his acceptance into a tech program, complete with a partial scholarship. Ellen's health improved, leading them to relocate to a more vibrant and secure apartment. Samantha always remembered where she came from, guiding Maria and others in similar situations, establishing a pathway for underappreciated talent at Carvertech's. David, always her guide, observed her ascent with a subtle sense of pride. One day he said to her, "You didn't merely seize the opportunity, you transformed it." 3 years later, Samantha found herself on a stage at Carvertech's annual conference, presenting a groundbreaking initiative aimed at funding tech education for underserved communities. The auditorium brimmed with eager faces, her voice unwavering as she shared insights on opportunity, resilience, and the strength of belief. She recounted her journey, not as a tale of woe, but as evidence that anyone can ascend with the right opportunity. The audience burst into applause, and she locked eyes with David in the front row. He offered her a nod, reminiscent of that rainy evening at Rosie's. Once the speech concluded, Samantha made her way outside, where the city skyline sparkled beneath the pristine night sky. Maria, now fully immersed in her role, approached her, with a notebook in hand. Maria expressed her feelings about presenting her first project next week, a mix of nerves and excitement bubbling within her. "Do you have any suggestions?" Samantha beamed, extending a business card towards her. "Have faith in your own abilities. Everything you require is right at your fingertips." She tapped the notebook, resonating with the support she had once sought. As Maria strolled away, Samantha's phone vibrated. A message from Tommy, now flourishing in college. "I'm so proud of you, sis. You are my inspiration." She fought to hold back tears, her heart overflowing. She had transcended her role as the waitress from Rosie's, embodying the strength, hustle, and heart of that woman. The rain had ceased its fall ages past, and the horizon lay open for her to mold as she wished. As she strolled home, she caught sight of a quaint diner, its neon sign buzzing with a flickering glow. She lingered, observing a young woman within, engrossed in her studies during a brief respite. Samantha quietly slid a note beneath the door. "Continue onward. You're not by yourself." There was no requirement for her to sign it. The deed sufficed.